Hey, are you one of those golfers who thinks that you've got to keep your head down until after you've struck the ball? And when you hit a bad shot, you blame it. You say your head must have raised up and that's why you hit the top or the bad shot. Well, right after this, I'm going to give you a little bit of a different take on that old adage, keep your head down. If you want to find out how to become a better golfer, then by all means, keep watching. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. I'm continuing on my journey to hit it longer and straighter than ever before, despite being in the senior bracket now, over 50 years old. I continue to figure out how to hit it a little bit longer and straighter as I go. If that sounds fun to you and you'd like to add a little bit of distance back onto your drive again, then by all means join us. Hit the subscribe button right there. Like this video at the end if you got some benefit, and of course leave a comment below, especially if you have a question. All right, so the average to below average golfer is seeking to keep their head down longer, and of course the average to below average golfer also suffers from a great deficit of torso turn through the shot. Now those things just can't square up because they seem to be the opposite. But I can tell you most of my students who are struggling, who are in the 90s or 100s or high 80s, most of them I'm working on getting more turn and swoosh out in front so that they can control their low point, get it in front of the ball, hit their shots cleanly for a lot more power. And this happens when we can get more torso turn into our swings. However, when we work on this, almost universally, they will report to me that it feels like they're looking up too soon, and that kind of scares them because their security blanket is to keep their head down. So if we're doing this exercise where we do the turn and swoosh, and notice that how far out in front I put those swooshes, way out here in front. You'll see in that slow-mo treatment I did of those swings that it almost looks like I'm doing an early peek, almost staring at the swoosh as I go. And universally, this is what my students all report back. Not that they're actually doing it. This is another one of those feel versus real arguments. They all feel like they're peaking a bit early, and I encourage them to do this. So don't try to keep your head down. I want to see you release your head up the fairway and watch the ball go right off the tee and right on down the fairway. Because keeping your head down is really going to restrict both the ability of your chest and hips to turn, and also will restrict where your low point is. So the person who's keeping their head down the longest is simply perpetuating a low point behind the ball where they can either chunk it or top it. So actually those top shots are usually happening because you're keeping your head down too long. So the feel is that you're going to release your head up the fairway. Can you remember there was a point in time in the late 90s where the #1 male golfer in the world was David Duval, pictured right up here on the screen. Look at this at impact, how open he is, but he's also staring his way right down the fairway. And at the same time, the #1 ladies player in the world was Annika Sorenstam, also the same way, looking straight up the fairway at impact in order to get herself to freely keep turning through the shot. Both of these players were exceptionally long hitters for their era, and both of them hit the ball so straight that they could achieve #1. I think they both even shot 59. So I really recommend for most golfers doing the turn and swoosh drill to get your speed really going, but also control the low point of your swing. What you're going to feel is that your head is way over here when you hear the swoosh. But in reality, when you go to hit a golf ball and you feel the same thing, I promise you, right at the moment of impact, you're going to be looking right down at the ball, but soon after, your head is coming right up to watch your ball go straight down the fairway. All right, let me see if I can hit one for you where it feels to me like I'm releasing the head early, but we'll see if that's true. All right, looking back at that replay in slow-mo, you could clearly see that my head was looking right down at the ball at the moment of impact. But to me, it feels like it's happening so fast that it feels to me like I was staring up the fairway here at this oak tree in the middle of the fairway as I was striking the ball. So feel is not always real. Release your head, don't keep it down. Turn and swoosh your way to a better golf game. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm Steve, and as usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody, take care.